Hello folks, it's November 1st and it's day 18 of our occupation here at Occupy Plaza, Olympic Plaza in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Perhaps the oil capital of North America, among other things. I just want to, it's been a while since I've done an update. In fact, I've only done one update. And I was supposed to do it daily, and that was on day 6. I did an update, I think. So I'm going to try and be as quick as possible to encapsulate what has transpired over, 12 days. In fact, I won't be able to do that. But I wanted to start out, first of all, by speaking briefly to the editors of our local newspaper, the Calgary Herald, also the Calgary Sun, the columnist. So Alicia Corbella of the Calgary Herald and Rick Bell of the Calgary Sun, the columnist, and other reporters too, and amongst the TV stations and so on, even the CBC. We've received pretty withering coverage of our protest here, and it's focused on petty things. Lisa, and most of all, has taken it upon herself to laugh at inequity, to laugh at people in positions of poverty, people that have not had the advantage of her education or position of power. She maintains this bastion of, not a bastion, the Calgary Herald. Who do they speak to? I don't know. But she's taken it upon herself to maintain the status quo, which for so many of us is not good enough and is quite clearly broken. And to laugh at these things, to be so snide and dismissive, perhaps that's the job of a corporate media chain. But it's reprehensible. And what more can be said? Maybe we can focus on some real issues that are facing real Canadians, real citizens of this, real inhabitants of this planet, not just citizens of nations. Maybe we can focus on systemic oppression, inequity, inequality. Maybe we can focus on a banking system that condemns people to indentured servitude, that condemns nations, entire continents, to debt repayment. Maybe we can focus on issues of environmental degradation and the carrying capacity of this planet, and how we continue to ignore that, the need for proper stewardship. Maybe we can focus on that instead of ridiculous things like $40,000 tabs for the cost of repairing Olympic Plaza, or how somebody sounded funny at one of our general assemblies, or how a sign said drop acid not bombs. Heaven forbid we allow someone to write a sign that isn't quite on message, like we're some sort of PR firm and not a movement clamoring for real change. So with that in mind, Mr. Tom Sampson of Calgary Emergency Management Agency. I don't know how many other emergency management agencies are responsible for landscaping and grass maintenance in parks. Maybe it's a common thing, but perhaps we could spend more time focusing on the 24-hour day, 365-day emergency of homelessness, of people living in poverty, not having access to adequate food, shelter, clothing, schooling. Maybe this is an emergency, and this is for a start. Maybe this is the emergency that SEMA here in Calgary could take on, because it sounds like that this is something that they're perfectly capable of handling, providing housing, for instance. I'll leave it at that. As far as the camp itself goes. We're moving into sort of another phase. The city is clearly going to be getting more antagonistic, and they've been accommodating so far. And I'm sorry, in some sense, that we've picked a fight with the city, as we see in Orange County and LA. That a fight with the city isn't inevitable or even necessary. That it's actually possible to recognize that this is a clamor for change, that we're here exercising our right to free speech, and that's a beautiful thing, and that we're actually asking and inviting everybody to participate. I mean, sometimes it may not be neat and the messaging may not be neat and tidy, and not everybody is eloquent speaker, but there's opportunity here for everyone to be engaged, and for issues to be discussed and solutions to be proposed. So I feel personally like I've aged 10 years. It's been an amazing experience, a profound experience, and I'm kind of tired right now, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to emote properly or convey that. But it's managing a little island of compassionate society, one that cares about people, one that where we talk to each other, not on a verbal level, but with nonverbal communication, where we express love for one another, and one that clamors for change, that asks for change, that has opened the door to broaden dialogue, and one that also is confronting issues of poverty and homelessness head on, and of substance abuse, and people that are so isolated that they experience, until coming here, they experience this crushing despair. And I've got a cold. Small surprise. A few of us have been sick. But and so I just like to say that it's a blessing being here. Some people have suggested that it's a sacrifice staying out in the cold. Giving up a warm bed and a warm shower, and perhaps even a job, to be down here doing this, and for what? Does anybody in Calgary really care? Does anybody in Calgary really feel the pain of economic injustice, let alone the oppression of rapacious capitalism? Anyway, say it might be a sacrifice, and I am privileged. I do have a home. I do have a bunch of housemates who are fantastic and who helped, look after me when I came down with the flu just recently. And I get to go back. I can't to that house, and I can't imagine being out on the street all the time and not being able to retreat like that. So I am privileged and blessed. It's been fantastic being here. Today I met a man who took part all those years ago in the Tiananmen Square uprising. I just have to give him a big hug. It was really beautiful. To have common cause with people halfway around the planet, looking for autonomy and democracy and freedom, to end the yoke of oppression. and to have come all that way and to run into him was, well, again, another blessing. So now we're in a phase where we're looking to you, public, to organizations, professionals, to workers, to mothers, to brothers, everybody, to help us here at Occupy Calgary take advantage of the space that we're trying to create here, to book and help facilitate people's assemblies where we educate, where we discuss the issues, and where we incubate solutions, where no dream is big enough, no demand is big enough. Let's meet in our city hall. Let's meet in our library. Let's meet in our Epcor Arts Center. Let's meet here in the amphitheater. Let's have ongoing dialogue every day, day after day, until it's impossible to ignore the call of the people for the implementation of these solutions, for redress of our grievances. And we need your help. There's only, there's really just a handful of us, and we need you to come down and take advantage of this. We've got our foot in the door. We need you to rush through. I'll leave it at that. I'll try and follow up tomorrow. This is probably a long video already. Have a good night, and to all you other Occupy movements, persevere. We will.